Hi, are you currently struggling to get a national insurance number because of the ongoing crisis in 2020? Or are you unsure about how you need to apply for a national insurance number because of what's going on globally? Then you need to watch this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what's happening currently with the whole national insurance process, and I'll be answering some key questions and concerns that have been raised on the national insurance process since my last video.
Strong.
Hello and welcome to The Nimble Nomad. My name is Arjun, and on this channel we discuss the tips, tricks and hacks to survive and thrive in the UK. In this video, I'm going to be doing a bit of an update on the national insurance number process since my last video. There were quite a few questions which came in after I did my last video a couple of months ago, just because of what's going on globally and just some challenges that people have been experiencing with getting the whole national insurance number sorted out. So this video is going to be slightly different to what I usually do. So if you've not actually watched my first video on the national insurance number and how that works and the basics and the fundamentals, then what I'll do is I'll include a link of that in the section above. Just click that and you can watch the basics and the fundamentals on what a national insurance number is and the process of going about it. But in this video, I'm going to be covering more specifics around the specific information for 2020 and what's currently going on in the world. So I'm going to start with some pretty basic facts, which you're probably already aware of. And if you're not, then they'll just give you a bit of an update on what's actually happening with the national insurance number at this point in time. This is in context of the whole 2020 crisis that we're in. Basically, since March of 2020, the Department of Work and Pensions and the HMRC have stopped issuing national insurance numbers. After just around March, they were actually issuing something called as a temporary national insurance number. And I think at that point, what they were saying was there was almost a 13-week delay in order to get your national insurance number. So what they were doing was they were getting these temporary national insurance numbers out, which were valid maybe for a month or two, and then they would expire. So at least you could start working, give that over to your employer, and make sure that you had the right tax code. Now, it's a bit unclear whether this temporary national insurance number is still being issued because the government websites have not been updated at all. So if you go onto the government website right now, it's really unclear as to what you need to do. The website actually still says that you need to call the National Insurance Helpline in order to get a form so that you can apply for it. At the time of recording this video, which is August 2020, the phone lines are open and you can call them, but I think the hours have been reduced to between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And it seems like a lot of people are unable to actually get through to the national insurance number. So I think when they actually get through, they met with a pre-recorded message and the line just cuts out basically. So the other thing just to keep in mind is there is actually no online process to apply for the national insurance number. The only mechanism is the one that I highlighted in my last video, which is you need to contact the helpline and then get and request a form, which you then fill out and send off to them essentially. Having done some of my own research, I found that some people have actually managed to get through the national insurance number helpline, and they've actually been told that they need to contact the HMRC because they're no longer processing the national insurance applications at this point. And this is the final fact, and you're probably aware of this because if you're watching this video, you've exhausted all options to actually find some information. Basically, the gov.uk website, the HMRC website, the Department of Work and Pensions website, there is absolutely zero information about whether the lines are closed, whether they've been reduced hours, when they will reopen, and what the entire process for applying for a national insurance process will be in this current scenario. So I before I really get into the meat of the video, which is answering some of the key questions and concerns around the whole national insurance number in 2020, I just want to clarify that I'm not a tax advisor or an official government representative. The video and the contents that I'm providing in this video are based completely on my own research. So if you're unsure about anything, then just go ahead and research on your own, which I'm sure you would have if you've gotten to this point, or try and contact the helpline service. I'll also try and provide some more information where you can find more information from official channels as I run through the video. The main content of this video, I'm going to be talking about some of the 4 key themes of questions that have come up on the basis of my last video, as well as some community chat rooms on the Gov website. So basically, there are 4 questions that I'm going to answer here. So the question number 1 is, well, what is actually the temporary national insurance number? I personally had never heard of this until this whole situation started. The second question is, can I work without a national insurance number? This is really important if you aren't able to get a national insurance number right now. The third one is, if you can't actually get a national insurance number, then how do you prevent being emergency taxed? Now, a lot of people are just focusing on the national insurance number, but there are direct outcomes of what happens as a result of that, right? So why do you actually need the national insurance number? It's you pay the right taxes. So this is just about how you prevent paying emergency tax, essentially. And question number 4 is, can you still apply for a national insurance number during this whole crisis? This is going to be purely based on what I've researched and how I've tried to find information. So let's start with question number 1, which is, what is the temporary national insurance number? So basically what happened is, back in March or February, around that time frame, what was happening was, governments were locking down. There was a lot of panic, basically, and specifically with relation to the whole national insurance number process. Specifically, what happened was the government stopped processing national insurance number applications, and what they said was that because of this whole crisis, there was going to be a massive delay in issuing new national insurance numbers. So the time frame that they were quoting, and this is directly from someone's experience, was 13 to 14 weeks. So that's almost three and a half months that we're talking about, that somebody wouldn't be able to get a national insurance number. Now, this is a very, very important number, obviously, if you're going to work and live in the UK. So what they did was, they said that they would start issuing temporary national insurance numbers. Now, these temporary national insurance numbers are basically time bound. You get them and they expire after a specific amount of time. You can provide them to your what they were basically intending to do was, you provide these temporary national insurance numbers to your employer, and hopefully in the time frame that you've provided this to your employer, they'll issue you with a new national insurance number, which will be the permanent one that you can provide to your employer and hopefully be taxed correctly. Now, I really did try to find information around what actually happens if you've not received the permanent national insurance number and your temporary national insurance number is about to expire. And I couldn't really find any information on that. But what I'll try and do is, hopefully some of the answers to the other questions will help you if you're in a situation where you've been given a temporary national insurance number and you're not actually gotten a permanent national insurance number. So hopefully some of the questions that I'm going to get into right now will answer those. Question number 2 is, can I work without a national insurance number? So this is a very important question. I know a lot of people have asked me this on my previous video, or just generally they're unsure about this. So absolutely yes, you can work without a national insurance number, provided you have the legal right to work in the United Kingdom. So as long as your resident status or a right to remain in the United Kingdom is legal, so i.e. you have a residency card, citizenship, or a visa which permits you to work in the United Kingdom, and you can prove that, then an employer should not stop you from working in the UK. A national insurance number is not a requirement for you to work. It is a element which allows the payroll department or your employer to basically process your pay and ensure you pay the right amount of taxes before the monies are paid into your bank account. So if your employer is preventing you from working or starting a new job because you don't necessarily have a national insurance number, then I will include a link of where you can find more information about this from the government website in the description below. And also I'll bring up on screen the specifics of where it actually says on the government website that you have the right to work without a national insurance number. So question number 3 is, how do I prevent myself from getting emergency taxed because I don't have a national insurance number? Now, this is a scenario or a direct outcome of not having a national insurance number. So like I've explained before, a national insurance number basically ensures that you're categorized into the right tax code. And once you're in the right tax code, all the benefits of the tax slabs and tax-free allowances for your annual and monthly salary get computed. And once that happens, you get taxed the right amount, right? Now, if you don't actually have a national insurance number, all of that just goes out the window. And in the UK, there's something called as emergency tax. So this is basically where the government thinks that they don't have enough information, or they think that you belong in a special category, and they just start emergency taxing you, which is basically you're paying a whole bunch of additional tax on top of what you would have typically paid. And so therefore you're not getting paid the right amount on a month-on-month basis. And this has a direct consequence to you on a day-to-day basis, because you need this money to survive and live in the UK. So in order to prevent this from happening, I did research on this, and basically what needs to happen is when you start working for your employer or a new employer or any job, and if you don't have a national insurance number, then what you need to do is fill out something called as a starter checklist. Now the starter checklist is it's a form which is available on the HMRC website. I'll include a link of where you can find this in the description below. But basically you need to work with your employer for them to fill out this starter checklist. So the employee fills the starter checklist, provides it to their employer. The employer then hands it to their payroll department or whoever processes their payroll within the business or the company. And this enables them to ensure that you aren't being emergency taxed, essentially. So they make sure your taxation at source is correctly being taxed. If you are unsure, or if you're an employer, then I would urge you to click the link that I provide below, do the research and contact it. I've seen a lot of questions about this on community forums where people are asking about the emergency tax and how they can prevent being taxed. And the HMRC admins have actually been responding to these by saying that you need to actually fill out this starter checklist to prevent being emergency taxed. So hopefully this helps with too much tax being paid. Now, if for some reason you are being emergency taxed, then once all of this stuff gets resolved, you can ask for a refund to be paid back to you. So don't worry, the government's not going to keep your money or hold it. It's actually a really straightforward process. Typically in the UK, the government does refund you the money. It just takes a little bit of time. So don't get too stressed out about it. But make sure you fill out the starter checklist if you're getting emergency taxed. So the golden and final exam question here is, can you still apply for the national insurance number? So this is purely speculative and completely based on my own research. it would appear that there is no actual online form through which you can apply for a national insurance number. The lines are quite tied up and it's difficult to get through, or they've been shut down, so it's difficult to actually get the form, the postal form, so that you can send your national insurance form in. So it would appear that you can't actually at the moment apply for a national insurance number. What you can do though is you can check whether you already have a national insurance number. So a lot of people actually who move to the UK often already have a national insurance number, and the way you can find out this is check your BRP card, because sometimes on the back of it it's actually written what your national insurance number is. Two is you can actually create a online tax account now that you can go and view all your tax details on. So you just need some basic documentation like your driver's license or a passport or your proof of address, and you can create this online account. And once you go on to that, the national insurance number should be available if it has been created already. And if none of this applies to you, what you can do is there's actually an online form and a postal form that you can send in to the HMRC to ask and check if a national insurance number has been created. So I'll include a link in the description below where you can find all of this information around how you can request to get your national insurance number, or check whether it's already been created if you're unsure if that's been done. So that's it for this video. It's a bit more shorter and it's been a little bit different to what I've usually done on my channel. I really do sympathize with anybody who is unable to get a national insurance number, and I do apologize actually on behalf of the government that they've not actually done this, which is pretty basic in terms of providing more comprehensive information on the website. If you have any questions or comments, or if I've got something wrong in this video, then please pop them in the comment section below. And as always, if this has helped you out, then please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much. Bye bye.